Eddie G is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The out lap is like the opening chapter of a book. It sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Oesterreichring 1979 chicane.
Seppo posted a 4:39.439 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? There goes Eddie G on their first dance with Oesterreichring 1979 chicane. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too, making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
Seppo crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 2:38.351. They're getting to grips with Oesterreichring 1979 chicane, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Look at Eddie G taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
Joe Ergu is out there, taking it slow and steady on the out lap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today, a Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Oesterreichring 1979 chicane.
Watch as Eddie G takes it nice and easy on this out lap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob, they're calibrating everything: the brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
There's Joe Ergu, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The out lap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Oesterreichring 1979 chicane.
Seppo has a best lap time of 4:39.439. Joe Ergu is on the out lap, not just warming up the tires, but also warming up their instincts, getting the racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
And there's Eddie G, easing out onto Oesterreichring 1979 chicane. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right. And every racer knows this out lap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
There are just over 35 minutes left in this practice session. Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
Eddie G is not hanging about, straight into the thick of it on this first flying lap. They're getting a real taste of the TCL Ford Capri MK 1.5's capabilities.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the limits early on. You'll see them experimenting with braking points and turn-in speeds, all while keeping an eye on those tire temps.
Joe Ergu's on the outlap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
Alright, Seppo has put down a 10, 18.644. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that TCL Triumph Dolomite Sprint.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Eddie G has a best lap time of 2:23.075. Look at Sunoiler taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
Joe Ergu is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today, a Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Oesterreichring 1979 chicane.
In these sessions, they're not just pushing the car's limits, but their own too. Testing their mettle, seeing how far they can go before the big dance.
Exactly. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. Balancing aggression with precision, daring with data. It's an art and a science.
Mate, sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
Watch as Megasaurus 55 takes it nice and easy on this outlap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob, they're calibrating everything, the brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
Rob Keen's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 26:07.447. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Megasaurus 55 is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The out lap is like the opening chapter of a book. It sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Oesterreichring 1979 chicane.
The anticipation is high as the drivers line up for the qualifying session at Oesterreichring 1979 chicane.
This is where champions are made, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
Megasaurus 55 is on their out lap. Incredible drive by Keen so far, earning him third on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up?
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Rob Keen's current position of third is a testament to their skill and determination. Now, they must stay sharp to make the most of this opportunity.
A solid qualifying performance by Eddie G, positioning them in fifth at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. What an impressive performance from Seppo. They are currently leading the pack in this qualification session, showing incredible pace and skill. It's a commanding position for them, and they have set the bar high for their competitors. Impressive work from Eddie G, who has claimed fifth on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position. Keen has secured a respectable second in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Rob has done a fantastic job to claim second. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
It's a masterclass from Seppo in this qualification session. They have stamped their authority on the track, setting the pace and currently leading the pack. It's an outstanding performance, and they are making their intentions clear for the race ahead.
I share your thoughts, Rob. Seppo is currently untouchable with their outstanding performance. They have raised the bar, and their competitors have a tough challenge ahead to catch up.
Seppo has completed their out lap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Keen has completed their out lap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Sunoiler has completed their outlap. A strong showing from Seppo as they currently sit in fourth. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve.
Absolutely, Rob. Seppo has put in a remarkable effort to secure fourth. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
Incredible performance by Rob so far. They have been the benchmark in this qualification session, consistently setting fast lap times and securing the top spot. It's a commanding position for them, and their rivals will be chasing their tail. Rob Keane has just completed a lap in 2:11.720. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. It's an impressive showing by Joe Ergu, currently in 8th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? Joe Ergu has completed their outlap. Nathan Vexler has put in a great effort and currently holds third. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? Nathan Vexler has just completed the lap in 2:19.242. Their best lap so far is 2:19.242, putting them in P2. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? Impressive display by Seppo, currently sitting in position 5. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Seppo has completed their outlap. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There's a real buzz in the air as Sunweiler secures 5th.
Right you are, Rob. They've put themselves in a solid spot, but they can't let up now. Staying smooth and focused is key to shaving off those extra fractions.
What a performance from Smells Like We. They currently occupy 8th on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot?
You're absolutely right, Rob. Smells Like We's current position of 8th reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on this starting position.
Incredible drive by Seppo so far, earning him 2nd on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? Seppo has completed their first flying lap in 2:12.985. Currently in 7th, Joerg Yu has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
I completely agree, Rob. Jorg Yu has positioned themselves impressively in 7th. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
Joerg Yu has just completed a lap in 2:26.712. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. A solid performance from Sunweiler as they currently hold position 5. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
Spot on analysis, Rob. Sunweiler has positioned themselves well in 5th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
Looks like Sunweiler is making a statement, securing a spot in 5th.
Yeah, Rob, but there's always room for improvement. Smooth, consistent laps might just be the key to climbing even higher before this session wraps up.
And there goes Joerg Yu, currently in position 7. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result.
Great analysis, Rob. Jorg Yu has shown excellent pace to secure 7th. Now, the focus shifts to whether they can use their track position to their advantage in the race.
A strong showing from Eddie G as they currently sit in 6th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. It's an impressive showing by Smells Like We, currently in 8th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? Megasaurus 55 has secured a respectable fourth in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance? Megasaurus 55's really showing what they're made of, landing in third during this nail-biting session.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about precision and nerve in qualifying. Every millisecond can make a difference on the grid. Let's see if they can squeeze out even more speed. It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
Zhou Ergu has put in a great effort and currently holds 7th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? What a performance from Zhou Ergu. They currently occupy 7th on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot?
You're spot on, Rob. Ergu's current position of 7th is a testament to their skills and determination. Now, they face the challenge of maintaining their position against hungry rivals.
You've joined us on a breezy day here at Oesterreichring 1979 chicane, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The tension's building now. This is going to be another great race.
Starting in pole position gives Rob Keane a clear advantage over the rest of the field.
But they can't afford to get complacent. They will have a target on their back now.
Seppo is placed in second. Starting just behind the front runners in third place is the determined driver, Megasaurus 55.
Big things expected for Megasaurus 55 today.
The green light signals the beginning of an epic race. As the drivers jostle for position, it's all about keeping their cool under pressure.
The drivers will need to be aggressive but also patient. They can't afford to make any mistakes if they want to stay in the running for a podium finish.
It's a delicate balance, Hal, but the best drivers know how to find that balance and make it work to their advantage.
It's going to be an exciting first sector. I can't wait to see how this all plays out.
As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at Assetto Corsa Friends for making this all possible. Heroes one and all. As we watch the drivers fight it out in the first lap, I can already feel that this is going to be an epic race.
It all comes down to this rock, where the rubber meets the road. There's no more time for talk, no more practice. The teams have done all they can. Now it comes down to Megasaurus 55 to bring it home.
Blimey, Sunwheeler's dropped faster than a kangaroo in a sack race. From position 5 down to 8, not the best way to kick off at Oesterreichring 1979 chicane. Bit of a cruisy start for Eddie G, just filling out the track at Oesterreichring 1979 chicane. You know, like a dingo sussing out the lay of the land. You know, they say, steady as she goes, and that's exactly what Joe Ergu's doing. Holding on to 7, maybe they've got a trick or two up their sleeve for later.
You know, sometimes the best strategy is to hold your cards close to your chest. Ergu's sitting right there at 7, just watching the field unfold.
It's a dynamic landscape out there. Joe Ergu's shift to 7 is testament to that. Oi, Eddie G is on Nathan Wexler like a drop bear on an unsuspecting tourist.
Drop bear? Had to Google that one. But yeah, here it's like a linebacker on a quarterback sack.
It's not looking good for Eddie G. They are still behind Nathan Wexler and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. Looks like Megasaurus 55 is coming in hot. They're approaching the turn way too fast.
No, it certainly doesn't. It's almost Megasaurus 55 thinks they're playing a video game or something. That's just not how you drive on this circuit.
A setback for Megasaurus 55, who has just been passed. A great moment for Megasaurus 55, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Like a scene from a thriller, Sunoiler's on Megasaurus 55's tail, hungry for that spot. This is a thrilling battle as Eddie G edges closer to Nart and Vexler in their fight for P3. You ever miss the roar of engines, Al?
Every single day, Rob. But we've got the next best thing, dissecting every nuance of these races and sharing our digital wisdom with the world.
Wow, it's a close race for fourth. Eddie G is ahead with Megasaurus 55 right on their tail with a gap of only 0.3 seconds.
It's a close race as we can see, and Eddie G is doing a great job defending their position. Will Megasaurus 55 be able to squeeze through?
Megasaurus 55 is holding fourth, but Eddie G is right on their tail.
A few lengths might not sound like much, but in racing, that's like dancing on the edge of a razor blade. Megasaurus 55's footwork is top-notch today.
Tell ya what, Eddie's got more guts than a croc in a boxing ring. Closing the gap and breathing down the neck of Megasaurus 55. Hope Megasaurus 55 brought the aero guard, cause he's about to get bitten. Speaking of gambles, mate, what's your take on these mid-race fuel stop strategies? I reckon it's like deciding when to throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Timing is everything, like deciding when to pull out the moonshine at a family.
Oh no, what's this? Just like my hope in finding the one, Megasaurus 55's direction seems a bit lost right now.
Gee whiz, Megasaurus 55's lost direction faster than I lost my youth. Welcome to the club.
Oh, the chase is on. Joe Ergu's breathing down the neck of Smells Like Wee. Oh, Seppo went off track? I know the feeling, just like my diet every weekend. No room for error here. Megasaurus 55 is breathing down the neck of Nart and Vexler, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. It's pedal to the metal for Megasaurus 55, while Nart and Vexler's still flipping through the radio channels.
Definitely, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and anything can happen. Megasaurus 55 needs to keep driving with focus and intensity.
We got a close battle as Nart and Vexler closes in on Megasaurus 55. I tell you, mate, the tech in these cars would outshine any gizmo you'd find in a Sydney cafe.
As long as it doesn't make my morning coffee, I'm good. But yeah, the tech here is like something out of Silicon Valley.
The pursuit is on. Smells Like Wee is closing the gap on Sunoiler, determined to claim P6.
This is where every inch counts. Smells Like Wee is pushing hard to close the gap on Sunoiler. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
Someone's revved up after lunch. Smells Like Wee's blitzed ahead, claiming 6th.
That kind of move? That's what happens when you mix horsepower with a dash of southern charm.
Struth. Smells Like Wee's taken a bit of a tumble down the order to 7th. Must have missed the memo.
Races are full of ups and downs, kinda like my Aunt Patty's porch swing. Smells Like We'll bounce back, no doubt about it.
As Smells Like Wee trails Sunoiler, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind.
My mama used to say, you can't shine if you don't try. Guess Smells Like Wee missed that lesson. Just like my pie making class. From the grandstands to the pit lane, all eyes are on the action. Amongst the front runners, Megasaurus 55 is showing prowess in 3rd. Definitely, but they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Megasaurus 55 has to keep pushing to stay on the pace. Well, that was a proper Barbie flip by Joe Ergu. Too much snagger, not enough bun. You know, Smells Like Wee reminds me of my dating life. Starts with promise, ends up tailing behind everyone else. Look, Smells Like Wee's pace is a lot like my dance moves. Good intentions, questionable execution.
the crows. Smells like Wee's managed to trim that gap with Sunoiler, eh? Must be the slipstream effect on this straight. Or maybe they've put down the beer.
Now this is what I call some high-octane excitement. Both drivers pedal down, looking to grab the brass ring.
Fantastic move from Smells Like Wee, who has just gained a position.
Impressive. Smells like Wee is really showing their skill and determination out there.
Looks like Sunoiler's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now. Cricky, Smells Like Wee's got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate. Smells like Wee could be on a charge here, Hal. They have just put in a quicker lap than Eddie G.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Smells like Wee is turning this race into a barn burner. Eddie's gotta dig deep now.
Blimey, Nathan Vexler is farther back than my hairline. But you know what they say about Aussies? Never say die. Unless it's a spider. Then just run.
Indeed, the tension is palpable as Nathan Vexler tries to reel in Megasaurus 55. But Megasaurus 55 is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can Nathan Vexler find some extra pace to bring the fight to Megasaurus 55?
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? With a move that's swift, I'd say Eddie's running on high octane, and maybe a bit of Aussie spirit. You know, Rob, these pit stops always amaze me. Just a few seconds, and they change tires, refuel, adjust settings. It's like a well-choreographed dance.
Absolutely, and the precision. One slight misstep, and it could cost the race. It's an art and a testament to the pit crew's relentless training and coordination.
By the looks of it, Sunoiler in 7th is keen to throw another shrimp on the barbie and crank up the heat on Smells Like Wee. Hold on to your stubbies.
This ain't a track, it's a coliseum, and the gladiators are putting on one hell of a show.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Smells Like Wee is breathing down the neck of Eddie G, not giving him any room to relax. A great pass for Smells Like Wee as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Eddie G has lost ground.
Yes, but Smells Like Wee can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
Things are heating up as Eddie G tries to close the gap to Smells Like Wee. There's no escape now. Sunoiler is breathing fire and has locked onto Eddie's tail. The gap between Sunoiler and Eddie G is getting smaller.
With every lap, I can see Sunoiler making micro adjustments on that steering wheel, refining traction control. They're itching to show Eddie G their taillights.
Big gains for Sunoiler as they move up the field, leaving Eddie G behind.
Talk about turbocharged ambition. Sunoiler's got the afterburners on full blast today.
Sunoiler could be looking for a way up the inside of Eddie G.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
As rubber meets road, and strategy meets luck, Rob is etching their story in first. This is what it's all about, folks. Sunoiler is in hot pursuit of Eddie G, who's just trying to stay ahead. Sunoiler and Eddie G have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 0.4 seconds now. Tell ya what, Seppo is trailing like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing today. Talk about intense. Sunoiler is on Edig's bumper. We're in for a treat as they approach Texaco chicane.
If Sunoiler gets any closer, they might as well ask Eddie G for a piggyback ride.
The way these cars grip the track is incredible. It's all about downforce. They're stuck to it like a piece of gum to the bottom of a school desk.
Now that's an analogy I get, but why's your gum always under the desks?
It's the classic cat and mouse game, but instead of cheese, the prize is a racing position. Can Joe Erg steal it from Sunoiler? Fair dinkum, I reckon Sunoiler's got that thirsty look in his eyes. Wants to share a cold one with Eddie G in the front.
Each roar of the engine, each squeal of the tire is a chapter in this epic duel. Who'll pen the perfect ending?
It's not going to plan for Sunoiler. They are still behind Eddie G and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now. With all these modern racing aids, I sometimes wonder, will the legends of the past, the real trailblazers of the sport, have had it easier or tougher today?
That's a debate for the ages, Rob. The tracks might have evolved, the cars definitely have, but the heart of racing? That's eternal.
It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
It's going to be a close one. Smells like we will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
You know, racing is all about strategy. It's like choosing between a sausage sizzle and a meat pie.
Sausage? Sizzle? Why not just grab a burger and call it a day? But I get your point. Strategy is everything out here.
This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Sunoiler zeroes in on Eddie G, blade sharpened and ready. Things are heating up as Smells Like We closes in on Nart and Vexler. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
Well, isn't this a showdown? Smells like Wee's right on the tail of Nate and Vexler. Eyes peeled as they approach start-finish, folks.
It's like David versus Goliath out there. Smells like We just slung a stone and gained ground, while Nart and Vexler is left searching for footing. You reckon these drivers do any off-track training? Maybe a bit of kangaroo boxing?
Haha, if they do, sign me up. But I think most stick to wrestling with the steering wheel.
Oi, Nart and Vexler's giving it a red-hot go in fifth. Just a few kangaroo hops behind Smells Like We. Might see a cheeky move soon. Well, it looks like we have a bit of a traffic jam on the track.
It's like rush hour out there. I mean, I know we're in a race, but can't we all just get along?
Haha, I don't think that's how it works. These drivers are here to win, and they'll do whatever it takes to get ahead.
I guess you're right, but wouldn't it be great if they all just stopped for a cup of tea and a chat? We could have a lovely little race reunion.
Would ya look at that gap? Sunoiler's got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger. Blimey, Sunoiler is dragging a bit, huh? If If they were any slower, they'd be going backwards. Eddie's having a field day out there.
Shucks, Sunoiler's struggling like a catfish out of water. Meanwhile, Eddie G is just sailing on by.
If racing were a dance, Joe Ergu would be trying to lead, but Sunoiler just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up. Gee whiz, Joe Ergu's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control. Breaking news, folks. Struth. Smells like Wee's having a real dog's breakfast of a moment. The tension is building as Seppo trails behind Rob Keane. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Rob Keane hold on, or will Seppo be able to close them down?
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Rob Keane is not going to give up their position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Seppo and P2 doing everything they can to catch up.
Seppo is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Rob to 18.8 seconds.
I reckon Seppo's dialed in their camber settings. They're getting a much better contact patch on the tires, gaining on Rob with every twist and turn.
Looks like Sunoiler is chasing Eddie G harder than a croc chasing a tourist who's lost their thongs. It's a bit of a long shot, but we all remember that one time at the pub, right? Rob Always Keen is on fire in the last sector. And there it is. Rob has completed the race in first place, setting a blistering pace that none of the other drivers could match. What a fantastic race from Seppo, who brings it home in second place. That was an outstanding performance from Megasaurus 55. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium. Finishing fourth is Nathan Vexler. Coming in fifth we have Eddie G, with Sunoiler in sixth. Smells Like Wee brings home seventh. In eighth, it's Joe Ergu. There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at Oesterreichring 1979 chicane, as we're getting ready to kick things off. Starting from pole position is the best possible outcome for Smells Like We.
But they can't count their chickens before they hatch. There is a long way to go.
Joe Ergu will be looking to convert their pole position into a win.
But they will have to be smart about their moves. They must not burn out too early.
The lights are off, the gloves are on, and it's go time.
Avoiding contact while trying to gain position is essential. The first lap is often where we see incidents that can change the course of the race.
A great start to the race there from Joe Ergu. That's really gonna put the cat among the pigeons.
Yeah, a great start. Now York-U just needs to keep it together and keep out of trouble. With a start like that, York-U might be looking to add a few more fans to their cheering section today.
Fair dinkum, Rob's tearing up the track like they're late for a barbie, climbing the ranks like nobody's business.
A fantastic start there indeed, but the first lap can be very scrappy. Let's hope they can hold onto that place.
Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here.
No rush, no fuss for Seppo. In the South, we appreciate taking a moment to breathe, and that's just what they're doing at 6. We'll see how things spice up.
Joe Ergu's revving up like there's a sausage sizzle at the finish line, making places left and right.
If they keep this up, they might just snag a win today. Pun intended, mate. Well, slap my knee and call me surprise. York-U's out of the gate faster than a jackrabbit in July.
The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched, who can keep their cool and take advantage.
The race isn't won in the first turn, but there have been plenty that have ended there wrong.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. Seppo appears to be trying to find a way round Joe Ergu. They could make a move on them in Raiffeisen-Hubel. Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Smells Like We is sniffing around Rob like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of first. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Smells Like We for nabbing first.
Well, butter my biscuit. Smells like Wee's burning rubber and climbing up to first.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. Oh, this is getting intense. Seppo is just behind Joe Ergu. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Seppo gaining places and Joe Ergu losing them. The intensity is off the charts as Rob Hound smells like weed, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Gee whiz, Seppo is breathing down Sunoiler's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Sunoiler's rearview mirror right now, it's getting crowded. I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Seppo's just breezed into fifth. Things are getting spicy as Rob is breathing down Smells Like Wee's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them. An impressive showing from Rob, who has gained positions and left Smells Like Wee in the dust. The strategy plays such a crucial role, doesn't it? Choosing when to pit, what tyre compound to use. It's like a high-speed chess game out there.
Exactly, and to think they're making these decisions on the fly, with so many variables at play. It's a mix of intuition, experience, and sheer guts. Kudos to the team's strategists and drivers alike.
Blimey, Joe Ergu's more eager to catch Sunoiler than a bloke at the bar at last call. Hope he's got the stamina for this chase. Ripper of a move, Joe Ergu's not just in the race, they're owning it. Did they? Sixth.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Nathan Vexler, who is currently in P7. But Joe Ergu is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Nathan Vexler.
Absolutely. Nathan Vexler in 7th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Seppo is proper nipping at Nathan Vexler's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
Bloody hell, Seppo's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched 6th. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration.
You know, back in Carolina, we say, go big or go home. Looks like Seppo took that to heart, hitting 6th.
Did you ever think about the physics at play here? The G-forces these drivers feel, especially during tight corners. It's mind-boggling.
Absolutely, Rob. And it's not just the car's engineering, but the human body's resilience and adaptability. The way these drivers train to withstand and use those forces to their advantage, it's an art form combined with sheer grit.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Seppo is chasing Sunoiler in P5. Crikey, Seppo's moving up faster than a cold one disappears on a hot day. They've holed up a mo. Looks like Seppo's playing in the dirt. Took me back to when I tried rallying in my mum's old sedan. Good times, expensive repairs.
Yeehaw, Seppo decided to do a little off-roading. Wrong event, partner.
Joe Ergu's so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind.
Exactly. Your Ergu's got to be careful not to overdrive, sort of like overcooking a steak. No one wants a burnt race, right?
Someone wants to close that gap with Seppo. Every move counts now as Seppo works to reel in Eddie G and overtake for P3. Tyre degradation's a right pain in the arse, but Seppo's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Eddie G, aren't they? Blimey, Seppo's shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 3rd just like that.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Seppo's charging like a bull in a china shop. Welcome to third, cow.
Breaking update. Well, Megasaurus 55s decided to give the local wildlife a closer look. I hope the drop bears didn't get to them.
Well, butter my biscuit. Megasaurus 55s lost it like I lost my patience with that old carburetor of mine. A real test of character.
It looks like Nartan Vexler is pushing hard to catch up to Sunweiler. The gap is over a second, but Nartan Vexler is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Sunweiler?
You ever been to a school reunion and thought, what happened to that guy? Well, I'm looking at Nathan Vexler, I'm thinking the same.
Nartan Vexler's gone faster than when I dropped me beer and tried to catch it midair. Impressive stuff. You know, it's like watching a Kelpie herd sheep. Megasaurus 55s making sure Nartan Vexler stays right where they want them. No room for a sneaky pass here.
Nathan Vexler is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless Megasaurus 55 makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to fifth.
Mate, are they packing something extra down under? Megasaurus 55s just rocketed into fourth. I've been going over some historical stats, and the lap records at Oesterreichring 1979 chicane have been shattered so many times.
It's a testament to the ever-evolving world of motorsport. What was once considered fast becomes the norm, and drivers and engineers are always pushing the envelope.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Sunweiler is closing in on Megasaurus 55.
In the theater of speed, this is the climax. Every move is a headline, every overtake a potential plot twist.
Sunweiler appears to be losing ground on Megasaurus 55. They will need to pick up the pace a bit as they head into Flatshaft and see if they can get a good exit and gain some ground. Whoa there, Nartan Vexler is sticking to Sunweiler like glue. You reckon Sunweiler's feeling the pressure? Cause I sure would. Did you blink? Because Nartan Vexler just laid down a scorcher of a lap. Even my ex never left that fast.
I haven't seen speeds like that since I tried to outrun my mom after breaking her favorite base. Go on, Nathan Vexler.
What a move. Nartan Vexler has moved up to fifth. Here's some action. Sunweiler's tailgating Nartan Vexler so close, it's like they're sharing the same set of wheels as they near Bosch curve.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
Eddie G wants to find a way round Megasaurus 55.
And they are poised to capitalize on any mistake, but who's going to make that mistake first?
It's not coming up roses for Eddie G. They're trailing Megasaurus 55 and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. If Sunweiler goes any slower, they'll join me in my failed dreams collection. Front row seats available.
Just like my attempt at barbecue last summer, Sunweiler's burning time but ain't getting any hotter.
Hold on to your stubbies. Nartan Vexler is closing in on Eddie G like a bachelor at the end of a bucks night. Hope Eddie G either brought some lube or protection. Oi, Nartan Vexler's hotter than a summer Barbie right now. Wonder if Eddie's feeling a bit exposed?
As long as Nathan Vexler can maintain that consistency and pace, it will be interesting to see.
A great moment for Nartan Vexler, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Oh, this is getting intense. Martin Wexler is just a few car lengths behind Eddie G. A solid performance from Smells Like We, who is holding down 8th. It's a thrilling pursuit as Martin Wexler is right behind Eddie G, keeping the pressure on for 3rd place. Coming into Texaco chicane, the fight for 3rd is heating up. Who will be the first to blink? Oof, if Sunoiler was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in that step.
Lordy, it's like Sunoiler's driving with a boot full of moonshine. I haven't seen a gap that big since Uncle Jeb lost his front teeth.
Crikey, Sunoiler's looking like they've been caught in a wrist, struggling to keep up with the pace set by Martin Wexler. Hope they find their feet soon. You ever wonder, Rob, how much preparation goes into each race weekend? It's not just about the driver, but the hundreds behind the scenes, making every little detail count.
Oh, absolutely. The hours spent in the simulator, the mechanics working overnight on those tweaks. Racing is as much about team spirit and dedication as it is about speed on the track. It's a collective masterpiece.
The gap between Martin Wexler in 4th and Eddie G remains over a second, but Martin Wexler is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 5 minutes? While Eddie G is not under immediate threat from Martin Wexler, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position.
If this was a game of beach cricket, Nathan Wexler'd be still waiting for their turn to bat. Eddie's got a good lead on them.
I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Martin Wexler and Eddie G. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning.
I've seen molasses move faster than this. Just kidding, but Nathan Wexler's surely making Eddie G feel the heat. It's a southern summer showdown out here.
Bloody ripper, Martin Wexler's just made Eddie G look like they're on a Sunday drive with that scorcher of a lap. The race is heating up as Smells Like We in 7th closes in on Joe Ergu. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight.
Well, butter my biscuit. Smells like We's hanging back like they're waiting for an inheritance. But ain't nobody dying up front.
Good news for Smells Like We, the gap to Joe Ergu has decreased. It's now down to 25.1 seconds. The race is really heating up. Martin Wexler is hunting down Eddie G with everything they've got.
The stopwatch doesn't lie, and the shrinking gap is telling a tale of a hunter closing in on its prize.
Looks like Martin Wexler remembered to twist that anti-roll bar, giving him better cornering. If they get any closer to Eddie G, they'll be seeing what they had for brekkie.
Just what Nathan...
Wait, I don't think that's the fastest way around Oesterreichring 1979 chicane.
If Jorg Yu was fishing, they'd have thrown that one back into the pond. That's a tough go.
Eddie G seems to be putting the pressure on Martin Wexler. If Eddie G doesn't pick up the pace, hell, they'll be as relevant as an ashtray on a motorbike. You'd think Sunoiler is trying to find water in the outback with that gap. A miracle, or Eddie's blunder, might be the only savior.
I reckon it's like looking for a needle in a haystack right now. Races are the ballads of the asphalt. They ebb, flow, and crescendo. And just when you think the melody's predictable, comes the surprise note.
Struth, Sunoiler's not here to muck about. The gap to Eddie G is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 3.2 seconds.
Now, ain't that something? Sunoiler is right on it. Just needs to keep the pedal to the metal to tailgate Eddie G.
Tactics are clearly going to play an important part in this race.
They are gonna need to look after their tires and will want to keep something in them for the crucial latter stages, as their tires wear and fuel levels deplete and the handling changes.
And don't forget the track grip increases as more rubber gets laid down.
Indeed, the conditions are constantly changing and the drivers need to adapt, otherwise it can cost crucial time and jeopardize their position.
Sunoiler's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate. Sunoiler's been working the tyre temps, and it's paying off. Grip's better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, Eddie G.
Dang, Sunoiler's fuel strategy and conservation of those brakes is spot on. They're inching closer to Eddie G like a hound on a hot dog.
You know, Hal, during a long race like this, how easy is it for a driver to experience a lapse in concentration?
It can be quite easy, Rob. With so many factors to consider and the intense focus required, even the most experienced drivers can have a momentary lapse. That's why mental training and staying in the zone are so important.
Eddie's more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast. And at least I woke up with a kebab in hand.
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, Eddie's neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
It's like Rob has saved all their energy for this final stretch.
That's an
The leader has just finished the race. A fantastic result for Rob.
What a result for King. They'll be absolutely thrilled with that performance, and rightly so. They really put in the work and it's paid off in spades.
A nail-biting finish, but Megasaurus 55 claims second place. Impressive drive from Nathan Vexler to claim the final spot on the podium.
What a drive, well-deserved spot on the podium with that performance.
Followed by Eddie G and Sunoiler in 4th and 5th. Joe Erdeu in 6th. Smells like we end in 7th.